Hello and welcome to the Mad Carpenter Brews. We have finished fermentation on the Canadian Blonde, and we're going to show you the signs now of a finished fermentation. First off, you always check your airlock. Now if you notice the airlock there, I'll just turn it around. Both levels in the airlock are roughly the same. That means that the beer is now absorbing as much carbon dioxide as it is producing, which means a slowdown in fermentation, that's a good first sign. Second sign is that the foam that was on the beer, while it may be difficult to see, is gone completely, or there's a tiny bit left. Then this brown ring here, this corrosion ring or croissant ring, that shows a very positive fermentation. And the last sign is this white dead yeast trub on the bottom here. Now those are the four signs that you need to have in order to make sure that the beer has finished fermentation. Now to make sure that it's finished fermentation, we need one of these and one of these hydrometer. Now we take the graduated cylinder here and we draw off a 100 milliliter sample, same as we did when we took the original gravity. Right there. And you can already see that the beer is absorbing CO2 because you can see the bubbles on the top there. Now what you do after you've taken your sample is you take your hydrometer. Now this is where we should have started the beer. We were about 5-6, we were about here I think, and this is where we should bottle the beer. So it needs to be on this big black line here. That's usually the minimum you need, but it all depends on your recipe. So you agitate any gas out. You see the gas coming up there, so there's nothing stuck underneath the hydrometer, and then you drop and spin. And while it can be a little hard to see with the foam there, and the CO2 is lifting it up a little bit, we have it at about, I think we took a reading the other day as well just to be sure, that we have it at about 1.011 or 1.01, which is exactly on that black line there, which is just about what we want for fermentation. So now that we've got our original gravity and final gravity, we can work out the approximate alcohol content. So what we do now is we take 1058 and then we minus 1010. That leaves us with 48. We then divide that by 7.46. That equals 6.4343. So it's about 6.4% to beer. Then we have to add in point plus 0.5, which is what the sugar pellet will add to each bottle after that's done. So the beer should be anywhere between about 6.6 and 7%, which is a little high, but I think it's perfectly acceptable. So that's how you work out, that's the formula. Again, it's the original gravity minus the final gravity over 7.6. That answer you add 0.52, and that will give you your alcohol, your approximate alcohol for the beer.